Today's podcast is supported by Queer Brewing. Okay. Hey guys, welcome
Hi,
back to another episode of our podcast. Let's not talk about fashion. I am your co-host Rali,
and I'm your co-host Jenny.
and what do we have prepared for today?
I thought now that we've done like a few like Reddit stories, I thought it's time to change it up a little bit. So, kind of just diving into the untold stories of genius minds hidden in plain sight. So today we were kind of spotlighting a woman whose beauty lit up the silver screen and whose brain helped to build the foundation of our wireless world.
I'm
Not sure.
excited.
I know. I'm not sure if you can guess who we're talking about, but we're talking today about Hedy Lamarr, who was like an actress, inventor, and an all-around icon. Like you may be familiar with Hedy Lamarr as the kind of the glamorous Hollywood star of the 1930s and 40s, often dubbed as the most beautiful woman in the world. But Hedy Lamarr wasn't just like a pretty face. She was also a brilliant inventor, and who during World War II patented a technology designed to keep alley torpedoes from being jammed. A technology that would basically eventually pave the way for Bluetooth, GPS, and the Wi-Fi. So I think that's really important, like, just to let that sink in at the moment, that somebody that the world perceived as the most beautiful woman, like, generally set the ground rules for what we nowadays like use on daily basis, like, and it's a worldwide thing that, like, internet, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth,
I use that every day.
GPS. Most people use it every day, and I think that's really important. And that kind of put a little bit of spotlight on that she wasn't just a brainless beauty on the silver screen that many people admired and many people kind of wanted to be or was inspired to be, like, visually. Hedy was born in 1914 in Vienna, Austria, and as a child she took apart music boxes just to understand how they worked. By her teens she was already a film actress. She made waves and headlines with a very controversial film. It was a film called Ecstasy, and that was filmed in 1933, and soon caught the eye of the MGM studio head Louis B. Mayer. But the film Ecstasy, it's not just obviously the controversy of the film is that it's also been dubbed as she was the first ever actress to have an on-screen orgasm, and that was again in the 1930s. So that's something that obviously is very, it was very much a taboo then, and then even after for a very, very long time. Louis B. Mayer brought her to Hollywood and gave her a new name and a contract. But what the public didn't see was that Hedy, offset in her trailer, was working on inventions between two takes. During World War III, she was deeply affected by the war and wanted to contribute more than just selling war bonds. Together, like, with a composer, George Antheil, yes, a composer, she developed a system for frequency hopping radio signals. The idea behind it was mainly to prevent enemy forces from jamming torpedoes. Now, the system wasn't just adopted by the Navy at that time, perhaps due to the bureaucratic skepticism, or because, frankly, they couldn't imagine that a glamorous actress being a serious inventor. But fast forward a few decades, and her concept became a cornerstone for secure military communications and the backbone of what we now perceive as modern wireless technology. So I find that really interesting, though, that obviously because she was a woman, it was like flat out deemed to be impossible that this invention would work, and of not just a woman but also this very beautiful silver screen actress, the movie star, that could possibly come up with something that was actually very beneficial for the military. So I find that quite
It is
interesting.
very interesting. I mean, of course, they're gonna doubt her intention because you kind of, at that time, like even now, you're conditioned to have a certain point of view of who's smart and who's not. And with men, it can vary. Like, a beautiful man can also be very smart, but with women, it's like you're kind of conditioned, like, smart equals ugly, beautiful equals dumb. You know, it's like, and you see it in movies and series, and even to this day, you could still see it where it's like this, like, ugly girl with like braces and glasses, and she's like super super smart, um and then the popular kids are all like super beautiful, and only like no one smart can be beautiful, like they're all very dumb, all of those like pretty popular kids.
But I think, yeah, and I think it's that stereotype I think that we still have, that we still fight against. I think we see as us being so like, oh yeah, women, equal rights. But when you consider, like, even like the simple fact that women being allowed to vote is, in the grand scheme of time, a fairly new thing. It's a very modern thing. It's not that many years that this has been allowed, but also the fact, I think, that it's almost like that thing that makes it tolerable, that a beautiful woman has to be stupid because she couldn't possibly have both. But that kind of equal rights that women are, maybe they are not equal to men. And I see this a lot, like being a bespoke men's tailor, that's I it's just for a lot of my clients still a very weird thing. And this is not just older clients, this is also clients like in their 30s and 40s. Like, a bit of backstory here, my brand is a heritage brand, so my great grandfather was a bespoke tailor in the 1930s in Germany, and my grandmother grew up in his atelier, like working with the fabrics, and he was sent to war and unfortunately he never returned. And when she tried to take over the brand, or the bespoke tailoring business, she was met with so much confrontation and so many, like, oh no, a woman cannot possibly work as a bespoke men's tailor, so that she had to do what society expected from her. She had to get married and have children. And this is still going on to this day. Like, being a female tailor is actually really, really difficult. I had this on numerous occasions where, like, some of my clients actually said to me, like, have you ever considered changing your brand name? Because men don't want to wear a woman's name in their suits, and men don't want to have a female tailor. And it's still very much that stereotype of, like, men's tailors have to be men. And this doesn't come just from older guys. Like, I had a client, he's in his mid-30s, saying to me, can you please remove the label from my suit, because I don't want to have a woman's name in my suit.
What did you say? Did you remove it, or?
I did, and I did charge him extra. It's called the arsehole tax.
Oh, I like that. The asshole tax.
It's the arsehole tax. Because yes, I can do that, but then this is something, I think it's also like how we kind of...
This is my work. Like, labels is a way of us representing that this is our work. You know, you put a label on, it's like, I made this.
Yes, and there's a lot of hours that go into making a bespoke suit, and so this whole kind of, again, the stereotype that women can't do jobs, or women they can only do one thing. They can either be smart, or they can, like, be good at their job, or they can be beautiful, or they can do so many things. But I think it's they have to almost like choose one thing, because otherwise they become too terrifying, almost like a superpower, and then not just like in terms of like for men, but also for other women. And I think that's what, like, for example, I think when Kim Kardashian, which is obviously undeniably she's a beautiful woman. I think that's, you can't, everyone else who says she's ugly, that's just envious. I mean, you can take a step back. You may not like her as a person, but she's a very beautiful woman. And yeah, maybe she had help. Who cares? It doesn't matter. She enhanced what she had. But when she said she wanted to study law and do like the bar exam, and that people were laughing at her, and they were laughing at her openly, because she cannot possibly do that, because the world has kind of come to terms with the fact she's beautiful, but so therefore she must be stupid.
But she's also like an incredible businesswoman as well. Like all of
Yes.
the Kardashians. I mean, look at Kylie Jenner, who like created her own business and all of that. Like she's not just like beautiful, but she's also like, I mean, in order for you to do a business well, yeah, you could have help with how you do businesses, and everyone should have some kind of like business help either way. But still, this is like, you do this well, you create like a basis for your business, and you grow it, and it's like ultimately yours, and it's a great achievement. And they both, like all the Kardashians, they like branded themselves, I mean, with their reality TV show and everything, but they created like an empire in a way, and they're all
Yeah.
just like, it's incredible, and it's extremely like a smart move of what they did, and like creating all these businesses. I honestly, I think with the whole beauty standards for women, and just the whole idea that beauty equals zero brain cells, is just a very small minded look at like perspective to have.
I think it's a coping mechanism. I think it really is. I do think it's a coping mechanism, because we can be probably envious of their beauty or envious of their brains,
But I
but we
think,
can't have more things that we must be envious about.
yeah, for sure. I also think men overall, even if the woman isn't like the most beautiful woman ever, even if she's just super average looking, men have this thing where they cannot see a, like some men, I'm not saying all, like this is like a generalization,
Yeah.
but they are like, women cannot be smarter than men.
Yes.
Some men, they'll be like, oh, she's not smarter than me, she's not better than me, she's not more knowledgeable than me, I am smarter because I'm a man.
Yes.
And I'm like, you're literally a dumbass. And women, sorry, women are so much like, not everyone, like a lot of
No.
like, I think women are more intelligent than men. Not just, I'm not talking like job stuff or things like that. I mean, yes, it can be better, but women are a lot like very intelligent, and they're just, it's like a very different type of intelligence than men have. Men can be like A, B, C, but women can see things that's and do things in a way where men would never think about doing.
Yeah. But I think it's actually really funny. So I read a quote once by Marilyn Monroe, who said to Albert Einstein that wouldn't it be like great if we would have a child together, if it would have my beauty and your brains. Now the funny thing is that allegedly, she had a higher IQ than Albert Einstein. Now that doesn't mean that she was like, how do you measure IQ? I don't know.
I think
I
it
don't know.
very depends, because I think there's a very different types of smart.
But that's the thing. It's like I think you can have like a high IQ on paper. So I know a lot of people who are like on paper maybe not the smartest people. They don't have like a PhD or whatever,
But they're
but
street smarts,
they're super street smart.
I
And
think,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, like I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, and but like I know my way around stuff.
Yeah.
And
I think if there's like, the intelligence is so weird to measure, and that's why, for example, like, kind of, it's like a weird segue here, but in school, I hated school because I hated the way they teach you things, because they teach you exams. You teach you to cram a bunch of information into your brain, and then go and do an exam with all the information that you try to cram. I'm really, really bad at memorizing things.
Mm.
And the way that those exams were made, let's say history, things like that, where you had to just memorize stuff and write down, like biology, I hated it because it was just a bunch of memorizing. I was good at math because math, yeah, I had to memorize maybe some formulas and stuff, but it was very more logical in the
Yeah.
way you do things and the way you do fractions and the way you do that. So I was really good at that. But I was terrible at things where I had to really like cram information and memorize information and try and write it on a test. Like there's the pressure, there's just me forgetting things. And I think it's a really weird way of measuring who's smart and who's not based on how much you can memorize. Some people are really good at memorizing, but they're really
Well,
bad at logical thinking.
yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, but like, I mean, yeah, I understand what you mean, but I just like I find it just like I find small things like really fascinating and quite mind blowing, and like it's the little things that I sometimes I think about. Like I find it quite when you think about that, like without, for example, someone like Hedy Lamarr, like nobody would be listening to this podcast right now. And it's like, how do you come up with this? How does the internet work? Like, I have questions. I have a lot of questions. Sometimes I feel like I should go to brain camp, but like I have like, how does it work that I speak into a little like stick, and then someone on the other side of the world can hear me in real time? I find these things like really
Oh, it's
fascinating.
insane. I
I mean,
mean,
yeah, it's like I know people have explained it to me before how it works, but like it just goes
oh
over
no, it
that.
goes
I
over my
just
head. I can send you a message and I can be like across the other world and send you a message and you will receive it like instantly.
yeah,
Like
the
that's insane.
telephone. Like, how does the telephone work? But that's what I mean. And it's like when you consider like in like 1930s, you have a woman who like has all these ideas, and I find this even more interesting than like if somebody is inventing something new now, because we have more technology. So we have obviously like, you know, self-driving cars and all of that, and like, but I think it doesn't, I'm not saying like it makes it easier, but I think, yeah, I don't know, I just think like 1930 is like inventing what she did. I find that incredible. But
It's incredible.
yeah, like it also, I mean, like
Forget
also,
the fact that she's like beautiful and everything. And that overall inventing
well,
that is
ah,
incredible.
but I find it, but I find fascinating that like despite all her contributions, that she wasn't recognized for her inventions during her lifetime. Nobody actually like credited her, recognized the inventions. It wasn't until 1997, just 3 years before her death, that she and Antal, sorry, were honored with the Electric Frontier Foundation's Pioneer Award. And in 2014, yeah, is when she was induced into the National Inventors Hall of Fame. 2014. She was dead by then. And that's only 11 years ago.
That's crazy.
I mean, like she once said, like the world isn't getting any easier with all these new inventions. I believe that people are hurried more and pushed more. The human mind is interesting. It's always making up something. And I think she's made up something rather incredible.
It is incredible. I mean, it's how the world works right now. I mean, without Wi-Fi, without Bluetooth, without all of these like wireless technologies,
Yeah,
like where would we be now? I mean, I use Bluetooth on the daily. That's how I listen to my music.
yeah,
How I send things from my phone to my computer. How I send things from my phone to someone else's phone. Wi-Fi. I mean, like even like I don't know if like 4G also complies to that kind of aspect. Like it's incredible, and I think it's sad that she wasn't credited like earlier on when she actually invented it. It's sad that people look down on her on her intelligence because of the fact that she was beautiful and just saw her as that and nothing more. And what's even sadder is that it's 2025 and this thing still happen where people like beautiful women can be smart, can be intelligent, and then the world tries to put them down and just put them in a box. Like
yeah,
you label them like this is what you are, and you cannot be anything more than what you are.
absolutely. And that the Navy, even like what I find interesting is like, like I said earlier, that the Navy just refused to take it on, whereas probably could have saved a lot more,
Resources,
and
money,
resources, whatever, much earlier
taxpayers'
on.
money.
Yeah. I mean, I think like I do think that there's that kind of like, it's almost like a very extraordinary double life that Hedy Lamarr lived, and that she was like kind of that star on screen and the genius behind the scenes. And that I think we must never forget that brilliance comes in a lot of forms, and sometimes even wrapped in Hollywood glam.
You get the best of both worlds. Oh, high stars, every shoe, every color. Sorry, it's just like the whole like double life, and I'm like, all I immediately think is like Hannah Montana.
I've never seen Hannah Montana.
Oh my god, I was
Oh,
like, my
there's our age gap
child.
showing.
Ooh. If you have Disney Plus, go watch Hannah Montana. You're in for a treat. I mean, it's definitely like, I was very young when I watched it, and it was amazing. I don't know how it is now. I haven't sat down to rewatch it, but I think for what it was great. I love Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
She's fun.
Cool. I mean, this is a very short episode today. But
honestly, we needed that. Like, I'm so
it's been a
tired this week.
Yeah. But if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, share, and
let us know what you think. Let us know if you want more stories like this. And
until next week, and
I hope to see you soon. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, until next week. We will see you soon.
We will see you soon. And
you open your eyes and you see us. Yeah. How nice is that?
Everywhere. Brilliant. Thank you so much again for joining us today. And Let's Not Talk About Fashion. We'll be here for you next week. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Sorry. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
I can speak properly.